from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints taking on Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
It is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. On the return, Deontay Harris. Now, it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Saints trot onto the field behind the veteran right arm of Drew Brees, a former Purdue Boilermaker who entered the league back in 2001.
Now exactly the start to the 2019 season that Drew Brees anticipated when he injured his thumb against the Rams in Week 2 and forced him to miss 5 weeks. The Saints did go 5-0 during his absence, and when he came back, they didn't miss a beat. Rallied him to another division title and got him into the playoffs, and late in the season, passed Peyton Manning for the most career touchdown passes.
It's complete to start the drive. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
10 yards.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara.
Number 41.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Taken down by Bobby Wagner.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
It's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a pickup of 6. First down, New Orleans. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized. The others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Brees. Receiver Michael Thomas. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
The ball carrier.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Brees. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 8, they've got it 1st and goal. Working from the gun, it's Brees. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Vincent Mayoa in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Second and goal.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's fourth down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Seattle's first go on offense forthcoming, and under center, of course, Russell Wilson.
Whenever you think about the Seattle Seahawks, one of the first things that pops to mind is how well they run the football and how much they like doing it. But you have to also look at how well Russell Wilson has played at the quarterback spot. Hasn't just been a game manager. Last year, over 4,100 yards passing, the second most in his career. 31 touchdown passes, and took care of the ball as well because he threw just 5 interceptions. If you need to open things up, Russell Wilson can.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Kiko Alonso leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Wilson. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett.
He's running. He's running.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. 81 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here's Harris to return it. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 now.
2-yard line.
Shotgun now for Brees. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line.
That's good.
It's a big play there for the Saints. 47 yards.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Brees going to throw. Complete. Smith has it, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. Down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Got him in open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans.
Touchdown.
Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception. To kick it off. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
22-yard line.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Not much there, only a yard.
Wilson's pass complete to Chris Carson.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 23-yard line.
There's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
First down, Seahawks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson to throw. Flush to his right. He'll run it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Marshawn Lattimore on the tackle. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 44-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
A gain of 4 yards.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Brings up 2nd and
that 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 37.
On the tackle. A gain of 12. First down, Seattle.
Now Wilson on first down. That's complete into the hands of Carson.
Wilson.
No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Russell Wilson.
Good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's third and long. Flushed out right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's fourth. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. It's caught by Sanders. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Good catch there by Emmanuel Sanders, and he's exactly who you want in your locker room and who you want on your team. He can integrate into an offense quickly. He joined the San Francisco 49ers in midseason last year and had a huge impact in their run to a Super Bowl. He's a veteran receiver that everyone respects, and yes, he can still play.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
10 at the 43.
And there's a catch and a first down by Alvin Kamara, and he can shake you in the open field. He can also drop a shoulder and run through, and you want to talk about a consistent player. How about his receiving numbers per season for each of his first 3 years? 81 catches, 81 catches, and 81 catches. Alvin Kamara, so dependable.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
Kamara,
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And this is Cook with the grab. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The line of scrimmage.
2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the Seahawks 29-yard line.
Now Breeze. And ran by the tight end Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Here's Breeze to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle is going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
No problem. That's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
31-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something. And that's caught inside the 35.
They are not ready for us.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation.
That's the reason we ball for. Circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Harris to return it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
On the return, the Saints take over 1st and 10.
Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
They had points on their first 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time, defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And these highlights here showcasing the solid game he's had.
Well, someone woke up and felt good about themselves today, didn't they? I have to feel that he came into this one with the idea that, yeah, I can do this. Whether it's preparation, reading the film, whatever it was, it's paying off in a big way as we watch this one unfold.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards already. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 15. 1st down, Seahawks.
1st down, Seahawks.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Chris Carson, the Seahawks.
Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
Alex Anzalone.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Gain. Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 30.
They run it with Carson. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Wilson with the handoff to Chris Carson. Brought down at the 30-yard line.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
Makes the score Seahawks 17. Saints 13.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the turn.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way. You got it. I just went right past him.
On the return. The Saints take over 1st and 10. At their own 26.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Taken down back at the 18.
Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
15 yards.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
No gain on the play.
About a half yard from the end zone, 3rd and goal. Breeze now to throw. And he'll go down back at the 12.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
9-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll bring him back within a point.
17. Saints 16.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settled for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds like counterintuitive, but you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start. Got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
11 on the play.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. To throw is Wilson. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Jenkins on the coverage.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
To Chris Carson.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And it's
Throwing is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out foul. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
fumble on the play.
Defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
The ball carrier.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the 41, Brees. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Brings up
The
3rd.
Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Brees. It's caught, Smith. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
That's good.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
1st and
So
10.
from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12. At the 38-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Brees. And Thomas has it. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
That's a
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
5.
To throw, it's Brees. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints have retaken the lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And that'll make this a 6-point game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown.
17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
2nd and 5 at the 31-yard.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
More on the tackle.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. This is Carson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 9. First down, Seattle.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
A good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
The Seahawks ball carrier.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
He was brought down by...
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Complete here. It's Hyde.
Wilson's pass complete to Carlos Hyde. A gain of 1 yard.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside, but you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space, and that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
Nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
On third down, Wilson. Hard throw, incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
They're pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
17-yard line.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. He's got Smith here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
8 yards on the pickup.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And almost intercepted. He could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
4th down. Here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 38 yards. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. The extra point now coming from Myers. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Harris to return it. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The New Orleans offense set to take over. We have been treated to great offense on both sides. The defense is on the other end of the spectrum. They're just searching for answers right now, aren't they?
And for most defenses, it's a very uncomfortable, in a lot of ways, unfamiliar spot because points are going to be scored. But the way we're seeing them today, it's almost like there's no resistance. They've got to figure out how to slow these offenses down. Maybe someone on either side can make a big play.
And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the Air safety. They're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Wilson. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Trey Hendrickson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the ability to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it'll bring up third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Breeze. And he finds Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now as his guys are able to regain the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far. Fun to watch. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's Michael Thomas who ends it with a touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
10. At their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Final play of the half. It's Wilson eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches. At the
options galore here, 2nd and a few inches. Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there, but they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot, and that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away. Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out.
On the return. The Saints take over 1st and 10.
Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good, and I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because you know the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Breeze. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
A gain of
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10.
31-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's caught inside the 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
To number 16.
Tyler Lockett, 51 yards. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route. Any route, whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Now Myers for the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here's Harris to return it. And they will ring them down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard.
Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
He was taken down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
1st and 10.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Seahawks.
They run it again with Kamara. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Seahawks have recovered. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though?
Absolutely.
Who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route, or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover.
7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
2nd down and 3.
34-yard line.
Here's Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
1st down, Seattle.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
1st down, Seahawks.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
And the
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that run.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 7-yard line.
4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
1st and goal.
They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Throwing is Wilson. Buying time to his left. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
Touchdown, Seattle.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here's Harris to return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about it.
Oh, my goodness, he loses it again. The Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete.
Wilson's pass.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage Eagles back at the 42. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Complete to Will Disley.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
3 yards. It's now 4th down.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Seattle.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed him perfectly.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Wilson sacked.
Can't give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 43-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Seahawks 41. Saints 30.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard
The
line.
New Orleans offense set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
You
right.
like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brought down at the 31. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Again, it's Kamara. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards?
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You're talking about guys that they weren't playing football, they'd be starting in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know. We'll
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and 2. Now Wilson. Gonna get it. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Well, pass complete here to Sanders, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Breeze. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And this is Cook with the grab. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
36-yard line.
They'll run. This is Kamara. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
To Alvin Kamara. Puna Ford on the stop. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Saints 30.
From the 38, Breeze. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
Results in a
I want to go back to something you said in the 1st quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Alvin Kamara hit the NFL with a bang, had double-digit touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. Now, production fell off a little bit last year. Just 6 times did he find the end zone. But his ability to run it and catch it out of the backfield makes him hard to cover. Look for a bounce-back season in 2020.
On 1st down, Breeze. And this one complete to Smith. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Traquan Smith, 46 yards. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Now Breeze. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Touchdown, wants to kick it off. That'll be taken about a yard deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Glancing down at the stat sheet, and we've been tracking it, but you get a 100-yard game, you're really happy. You're over 200 like he is. You probably want that ball after this game, don't you?
You want that one. You want to continue to call the same plays. In any other game you play, you're having one of those magical performances that just never want to end. And you know something? Your fellow receivers, they get those clenched grins right now, like, congratulations. But why isn't it me?
Well, so far, it's been all about him.
At the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Wilson. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Complete to Chris Carson. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
2nd down and 7. Now it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Wilson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. Throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. All just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him up.
And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
13 yards, the tally on the return there.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10.
And out now come the Seahawks. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 43. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
First down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. Again, we'll thank the guys on D.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Wilson to throw. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down, and he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Seahawks.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to go up top for the end zone.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
Touchdown.
Tyler Lockett, 26 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Now Myers for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here's Harris to return it. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Return. The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
How does the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here? And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are back within a score. So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. After the touchdown, wants to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdown.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. That's good for 28 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now Wilson on first down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
To Chris Carson. It's a pickup of 6.
Second and 4.
Second and 4 at the 20-yard line.
To throw is Wilson. There's that man again. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a little bit. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a second down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Now it's Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cameron Jordan, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3.
45.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in.
Recovered by the Saints.
Brees now on first down. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Recovered by Seattle.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll be hoping to work a little clock and try to add on to this slim fourth-quarter lead. But whatever happens on this drive, certainly a huge fumble recovery by their defense at this juncture. That catch good for only a couple.
It's 2nd and 8 at their 49-yard line.
2nd and 8 coming up. From the shotgun, Wilson flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and inches.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. From the gun, it's Wilson being chased out left. Pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Alex Anzalone able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Thought they'd run the football there on 3rd and inches. Decided to try to pass it, and obviously did not pay off.
Yeah, that is conventional wisdom. You don't have far to go to pick up the first down. What if they overthought it a little bit? Thought maybe they'd catch them napping and get a big play over the top. Instead, the sack occurred.
1st and 10.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Brees. It's caught, Smith. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Brees finding Kamara, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Brees here finding Kamara, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Brees, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. He's got Smith here. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Sanders has it poked free. And this will get out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Brees. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Michael Thomas.
Brees to throw. Caught. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute.
As the calendar keeps turning, I always hope that someone tells me that I get better with age. But Jared Cook is absolutely doing that. 33 years old back in April, had a career-high 9 touchdown last year in just 14 games, and that was second only to Mark Andrews of the Ravens. Jared Cook, a Pro Bowler after the 2019 season.
A very important extra point there, up and good, and that is going to put him on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as these guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
21-yard line.
So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 1. 50 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a desperation throw deep. And got his man complete. Past the 20. Come on, bring it, baby, bring it. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll make this a 6-point game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Now all the focus shifts over to the Saints, trailing by 6. 36 seconds remaining. And they've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Middle, and it's incomplete. Jared Cook, his Pro Bowl tight end, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Shaquille Griffin there defensively.
They'll look to throw. He can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. He's back to throw. Get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Breeze going to go on 4th down. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. So instead of the incredibly obvious choice of trying to punt it out near midfield, now they've left their defense with no margin for error.
No, 0. And I don't care how much confidence you have in your defense. I don't care if you say, hey, I'm going to be aggressive because those guys can pick me up. You really put them in there.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. .13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Now it's Carson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Here we go, a big play and a tight game late. They're going on 4th and goal. They run for it with Carson. And this doesn't end 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that. But flip it over, making a stand in that portion of the field, congratulations to them.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. I'll be heading to the hotel. Charles, he's off to Bourbon Street.
No, I'm not.
Yes, we say so long from New Orleans.